Reform are talking about deporting 600,000 people from the UK at present. That is their stated plan. They say these people are illegal immigrants, although most of them have been granted the right to live here. But that is not the limit of their plans for deportation. There are also at least 400,000 people who they would want to deport because they want to remove their indefinite leave to remain in the UK, which gives them a legal right to live here. Put those figures together, and more than 1 million people might be deported by reform from this country. That matters because migrants are critical to the way in which our society works now and the way it has always worked. Migrants pick our food, they clean our buildings, they keep our hospitality industry going, they keep our transport running, they work in social care, and they fill teaching posts that would otherwise go vacant. The NHS cannot function without the migrants it relies on at every level, from the doctor to the porter. We are dependent upon the migrants who work in our society, and we should welcome them. But there's more to it than just the economic aspects of this issue. Families would be split by what Reform want to do. Children with the right to stay would be forced to leave with parents who have not. Many people that were born here have families that include people of migrant origin, and your family could be affected as a result. Communities right across this country would be fractured by the human cost of this policy. Our economy would be left without essential workers, the NHS and our food supply chains would fall into collapse, there is no queue of people in the UK waiting to take the jobs that would be left vacant, and there is no evidence that domestic labour could fill the gap. This is a policy of fear, hate, social division, mistrust and economic chaos. No one in their right minds would vote for that if they understood the consequences. If you want stability, a fair society and an economy that works, do not vote Reform.
Operation Restoring Justice, the brand new Reform plan. Reform say if they get into power, 600,000 people will be slung out in 5 years. How are they going to do this? They're going to introduce a new bill in Parliament. They're going to ban deported people from ever returning to the United Kingdom. They're going to disapply the Refugee Convention. They're going to leave the ECHR. They're going to set up camps and stick 24,000 people in them. 5 flights a day. The question is it going to work? It's a radical overhaul. Is it just populist nonsense spouted to get votes? Or is it a serious plan to cut down on illegal migration in the United Kingdom? Critics have said it's an assault on justice, that it's not the Refugee Convention or the ECHR, that a lot of these laws that the Refugee Convention and ECHR are based on are actually British laws, British values. The courts are going to have a field day with this.
If you have entered illegally and unlawfully into the UK via lorry or via boat under the Labour government or by any other government, that this video is for you. You have got 2 options available from the Reform UK, just as the Donald Trump, US President, made a scheme for the people who have arrived into the United States illegally and unlawfully, calling them aliens and monsters and criminals, jihadists, lunatics and extremists and racists. He launched a scheme called self-deportation, which means that you can deport yourself just straight away applying for a ticket. Easy, quick and a fast way in which you can have the opportunity to come back into the UK, US or anywhere around the world. You can apply for the visa. It could be a student visa, study visa, charity visa, visit or a tourist visa. If don't, then the Reform government will detain, deport and arrest you and you will lose your career.
This UK political party Reform is one party I struggle to understand sometimes. So Reform to announce plan for UK ICE team to deport 6,000 a week. Now, if you all remember that this political party called Reform that is full of immigrants, they have been pushing this agenda that immigrants or immigration is the problem in the UK, that immigrants are taking their jobs, immigrants are collecting their benefits. In fact, the whole United Kingdom have been pushing this agenda for a while now, if you all remember. And now this is the pain. You see, in Nigeria, the same way they use road and electricity to campaign every 4 years is also the same way in Europe and in other parts of the world they use immigration and immigrants to campaign. For example, in a place like United Kingdom, it has always been about immigration and immigrants. If you all remember during Brexit, right, Farage was telling the people what immigrants are doing in their country, how people are coming from Europe, trooping into United Kingdom, collecting their benefits and collecting their job. That was the reason why majority of the British people went all out to vote for Brexit. They wanted to be out of Europe by all means. A lot of them were not even sure of what they were voting for. All they knew was people were coming from Europe to collect their benefits. People were coming from Europe to collect their job. They voted massively, which it affected them. They know it affected them. Now, it's also the same agenda is what Reform is pushing drastically. They are pushing it with so much force that they are going to deport as many illegal immigrants as possible. In fact, they are pushing that they are going to deport as many legal immigrants in a legal way. Exactly what is happening in America with American President Donald Trump and ICE. That's exactly what they are pushing. And I tell you this today for free. If Reform comes out tomorrow for election, they are going to win. If they don't win, they will get massive votes, a very huge amount of votes. And by the time you see them come out quite a few times, they're going to win, because the people are so gullible. Especially people in the UK believe so much that immigrants is their problem. They believe that immigrants are coming to collect their job, collect their benefits. But what baffles me sometimes, if you ask a lot of them, the highest level of education, not college. Plenty of them don't even go. But they will be bouncing, vibrating, shaking like jellyfish that immigrants are taking their job. What can you do? What qualification do you have? Nothing. That's also the same card they played in Italy. The Italian Prime Minister played the same card about immigrants, immigration. They voted for her massively. The same card they play in Sweden is also happening small. It's coming up small. In every country, that is what they use. In this Western country, it has always been against immigration and immigrant. But the truth is, a lot of them cannot breathe or succeed or survive without immigration and immigrants. So reform is coming.